As Christians, we are told to follow in the footsteps of Jesus. But when you look at his life, healing the sick, walking on water, living in absolute peace, emulating him can feel entirely impossible. The problem is how we view his time on earth. We tend to look at Jesus as a divine being playing the human experience on easy mode, operating with hidden cheat codes simply because he is God. What if he didn't use cheat codes at all? What if his entire life was built on a repeatable daily system of surrender? By looking closely at two theological concepts, the emptying theory and the download theory, we can uncover a specific four-step routine to access the exact same spiritual guidance Jesus relied on. You do not need a theology degree to do this. You only need an open mind and 10 dedicated minutes tomorrow morning to move from frustration into total divine alignment. To understand how Jesus operated, we have to look at Philippians chapter 2 and a concept called kenosis. In Greek, it means to empty. For centuries, prominent classical theologians argued that when Jesus came to earth, he kept complete access to his omnipotence, omnipresence, and omniscience. This diagram shows a different view. The kenosis theory argues that Jesus actively laid aside those divine powers while entirely retaining his divine identity. Emptying himself of these specific privileges does not make him less God. Think of a person who loses their arms or legs. They do not become less human. Jesus remained 100% divine in his identity, but operated with an empty cup, relying on a fresh supply of power from the Father. This resolves moments in the Gospels that otherwise seem confusing. When Jesus asked who touched his cloak in a crowded street, or asked a father how long his son had been possessed, he genuinely did not know the answers. It also clarifies why the creator of the universe experienced severe physical limitations. He was bound by time, restricted to one geographical location, and subject to intense hunger and physical exhaustion. By setting aside his divine advantages, Jesus lived a completely authentic human experience. He endured the world exactly as we do, which means the way he navigated life is actually something we can imitate. If Jesus emptied himself of his own divine power, how exactly did he cure the blind, cast out demons, and raise the dead? We see clear examples of his physical limits. After a long day of teaching, he was so physically exhausted that he slept deeply through a violent, life-threatening storm. Contrast that physical exhaustion with John chapter 6. Jesus steps into a boat with his disciples in the middle of the sea, and the boat immediately crosses the massive physical distance, reaching the shore where they were heading. Jesus explains this mechanic in the Gospel of John, stating repeatedly that he can do nothing by himself, but only what he sees the Father doing. This dependency allows for a real-time shift. First, the Father issues a specific command. Next, the Holy Spirit supplies the exact power required for that specific command. Finally, the Son acts on it and delivers the miracle. Jesus' miracles were a perfect synchronization of listening and acting. He relied entirely on the Father to supply the power through the Spirit, exactly when it was needed. We can see the mechanics of this supply chain in his daily habits. All throughout the Gospels, Jesus deliberately leaves the crowds to find an isolated place to pray. During these quiet, early morning prayer sessions, Jesus received the literal data and precise instructions needed for his daily mission. In the quiet, God the Father filled Jesus with his specific mission for that day, alongside the precise amount of power required to execute it. This explains why Jesus would walk into the ancient stone ruins of the Pool of Bethesda, surrounded by dozens of sick and disabled people, and heal exactly one lame man before walking away. He followed the exact parameters of the download. His ministry succeeded because he abandoned any preset itinerary of his own. He woke up empty, asked what the Father wanted him to do, and executed those downloaded instructions without question. This checklist outlines a daily framework you can use to achieve that exact same alignment. Step 1 is the emptying. Start your day by vocalizing the words, "Not my will, but yours." You are deliberately setting aside your personal ambitions and agendas for the next 24 hours. Step 2 is the connection. Step into deliberate isolation. Put your phone away, get away from other people, and emulate the physical posture Jesus took when seeking the Father. Step 3 is the download. Explicitly ask, "What would you have me do today?" Then wait in silence. Pay attention to the promptings you receive and record those instructions. Step 4 is the delivery. Step into your day operating strictly on the instructions you just received. Trust that the Holy Spirit will supply the power required to complete the task. You must trust the specific guidance given during this time. The prompt might be to call a specific friend, drive a different route to work, or prioritize an avoided task. Applying this protocol replaces self-reliance with a specific focus for each day. It empowers you to operate in the exact same flow of the Spirit that guided Jesus and the early disciples. Empty your will, connect in isolation, download the instructions, and deliver the action. This process mirrors how Jesus navigated the obstacles of a human experience. He did not rely on hidden advantages or divine shortcuts. His true strength came from total, daily submission to the Father's will. Tomorrow morning, do not approach prayer with a wish list. Execute the download protocol instead. Empty yourself of your own plans and see exactly where the Spirit drives you. Understanding the reality of Christ's human nature reveals the profound depth of his sacrifice. Keep exploring the Scriptures. Test this framework for yourself and discover the peace of total surrender.